just need to figure out where would be the best place in terms of the land itself, what the water already wants to do, because we want to be in alignment. We don't want to change the way the water is moving across the land. We want to work with it. We want to trust and honor that the water has already found the best path, the most advantageous path for this entire ecosystem, right? So not just looking at one purpose like us humans tend to do, but the entire ecosystem. So we want to not interfere with the flow of water across this land. We just want to dig another collection point that can benefit the horses and the wildlife. So we're back up to the fence and the point where the water is naturally pooling on this side of the fence. And those rocks are calling my attention. I wonder if we leave those rocks where they are and we locate the water hole just upstream of the rocks. So it kind of extends from where Kumba's sitting, maybe in a line with that telephone pole. So it's about a good 50 feet in diameter. And we leave those rocks as they are as kind of the natural breaker for this end of the water hole. So the water hole is on this side of the rocks, because we've still got quite a bit of slope to drive the water in there quite firmly. And you can see the path it's taking to come in there. So if we locate it there, capture that whole path right over where Kumba is, take it over there, dig it 7 feet deep in the center, and then we've got at least 4 feet of slope on the sides in case the horses need to stand in there during a fire thing, or they get into the 7 foot deep thing and they, you know, are then swimming and they need to get out. And during heavy rains, this is all going to come down. We've got some nice big hills there, gravity feeding water into this. And the whole gully there is the overflow from the well that's feeding all this. So I think this is the spot for the water hole, and close to the pole barn. So if they are taking shelter, they don't have to walk too far to get water. And we don't need this field for anything. It's not going to interfere with anything. And I like that it's far enough from the house that if ducks and geese want to be here, they're far away from dogs and humans, which also feels really good to me. And we can see from the outflow from these rocks that putting a water hole here is not going to stop it flowing down there and to that big culvert at that far corner of the property. There's going to be plenty of water to service the water's existing desire and route. But we'll just give it a little place, a bigger place to pool right here. So that's my thought. And let's see if anything new emerges as I sit with this idea. Hello. Are you telling me that that's a good idea, what I'm talking about? Yeah, you giving your stamp of approval? Thank you for joining the conversation. Hi, beautiful. Okay, so right here, there's water right underneath there. That vegetation kind of shows you. And that's how far it is from the water hole. So about 100 feet. And the banks are higher on two sides, like where I'm standing, it goes up. And even from my feet, it drops naturally down into a hole here. And then you can see from this vegetation that there's quite a lot of water in this whole area here. So you don't need to start it close. We don't need to bring the water hole out this way. We could, start it, here. So that's where I am in relation to there. We could start it here and then extend it out that way, because there's the land, as you can see, goes uphill, which would provide a bank on that side that the horses would not try to access the water on that side. So where they would try to access the water is here, where Kumba is. And this could be where we would slope it. But I think should be far enough away. Or we take it right down there. We'll look down there. The other important thing about this area, you can see from the poo, the horses have been coming down here. So maybe they're already drinking from groundwater here. That's what Kumba's doing right now. And there's Kumba in the area we were just on, and just down from it, it gets even more of a hole here. You can see the water there. I hope you can see it glinting in the sun. And then the bank is really steep up here, so I don't think this spot is ideal because there's no easy way for the horses to access it here. But there's a lot of water collecting down here. Ah! And just down from there, we've got another, you can hear it. And you can see by the poop, horses have been coming here to drink. So, and here, that big bank opens up a little bit here. So this is another area that has more, it's still a good slope. It slopes quite a bit downhill from here though. So I wonder how much the pull from this spot would be really strong to overflow the water hole and keep going. This is fascinating here because you can't see any water, but you can sure hear it. And it's like the water has naturally gone underground here. So that's the spot where we could hear it going underground. And it's come here. Here you can see it's emerged back out. I'm trying to get the sunlight glinting so you can see it, but it's right there where I'm pointing the camera. And it keeps going down here where you can see the water again. Nature is fascinating. So it's still flowing really strongly here. Can hear it. See, there's quite a bit of water, and you can see how green this is compared to just beyond it where it gets brown. Now down here, this is fairly close to the pole barn, and it really opens up here. Like right there. Kumba's drinking the water there. So that's what the horses are doing. They're coming here and grabbing, because there's poo, this hole, and it's trampled down. They're coming grabbing the water where it's fresh. So if we put a water hole down here, where there's less gravitational pull for it to run out and down. And the sides are not as sloped as high. Here's his tongue. Yeah, still flowing really strongly here. This is the path the horses have made, so we'll just follow it. So that tells me that there's quite a bit of water all through here, or they would take that path. Yeah, see? Horse poop. Yeah, lots of water down there still. So now it's starting to flatten out here. But I don't know what this plant is, but you see it wherever you have a high water content. So you see how sloped that is? I can hear it again here loud. So it looks like we have a lot of water emptying down here where it kind of flattens out, which I think would be ideal for a water hole in terms of the horses being able to access it without there being... Now it slopes up a little bit that way, which is good, because then we could have the back side of the water hole be like, don't drink from this side, so that bank doesn't erode. But down here, it really slopes and opens up. So this could be, and you can see from the vegetation, the water channel. This could be the ideal place to locate the water hole down here. And then they're also close to the pole barn, where they like to hang out. So, see? Lots of water down here. And we follow the channel. You can see green and brown. You can see exactly where the water goes. And then it's pooling here before we get into what our hayfield is. And then there, you can see it inside the hayfield. See those bulrushes? Swampy, swampy over there. So the water looks like it changes direction here. And so from here, it's followed a pretty straight pathway up and down. And then from here, I mean curving, of course, from here, you would think it would go this way if it continued on, but it's not. It's going off that way to where you see the big bulrushes in the swampy area. And we've got some big rock here, down here. Wow, that tree sounds like rushing water. Amazing tree. Thank you, tree, for anchoring this land. So where the water pooled at the bottom there by the hayfield fence, some of it is going into the hayfield, but a lot of it is running alongside the field in a kind of trench where Kumba's just been walking. Kumba walks the water. And over here is that swamp I showed you guys. So we're now on the other side of the fence. We're inside the hayfield, and you can see the channel that runs along the fence line has dried up here because it's diverted and is going that way. So this is all quite green. Yeah, here we go. There it is. Kumba just walked through it. So that's where the water is. And then we'll jump across. Water is diverting through the fence, coming down here, and flowing. Right under my feet. I just walked right on top of it. It's right there because I was looking at the greenery and going that way. But no, it's right here. Still here. So it seems to fan out quite a bit here. It's not just in a concentrated channel. It seems to have a couple of tributaries in this area. There we've got that water-loving ground cover plant again. And yeah, we can see the water glistening even out on the edges here. There's Kumbi walking through the water. So this whole area here, very wet. And that's where this is in relation to the pole barn. And you can see there it's considerably drier. In here, right around this wet area, we've got lots of gneiss, and I'm thinking I see the channel that leads out. Or is it just a pathway? So where is it draining from this cattail field? Yeah, it's draining here. It's draining here, and I bet you Kumba's sitting where it exits the property. I'm coming, Coombs. Yeah, still really wet down there. Thank you, Kumba. Good find. We have a culvert here. And Kumba's showing us how wet it is there. So it's exiting here via a culvert that's leading to the other people's property on the other side of that fence. Okay. Well, I think we've got a pretty good picture of the trajectory of the water. Now we just need to figure out where would be the best place in terms of the land itself, what the water already wants to do, because we want to be in alignment. We don't want to change the way the water is moving across the land. We want to work with it. We want to trust and honor that the water has already found the best path, the most advantageous path for this entire ecosystem. Right? So not just looking at one purpose like us humans tend to do, but the entire ecosystem. So we want to not interfere with the flow of water across this land. We just want to dig another collection point that can benefit the horses and the wildlife year round. So as I stand here and I feel into what makes logical sense to me in terms of the most natural, easiest way I have two conflicting thoughts. The land itself is showing us that right here where these rushes are is a place that likes to congregate. But this is an area that could be a hayfield if it was prepared properly in the spring. So part of me doesn't want to put their main water hole in an area. And this is also separate fenced off. So if I wanted to lease it to sheep, for example, sheep could be here and they would still have this natural water source. So my human self, for my human needs, doesn't want to locate it here where the land has indicated it would work really well. But I feel the next best place is that flattened area just on the other side of the fence. So again, we're not looking at a strong gravitational pull on the water. It's already settled down. It is already pooling there right next to the fence. So if we put it, obviously I don't want it right next to the fence, but if we put it, 15 feet before that, where the land still looks very much the same and there's easy access to the horses from all sides, that's kind of feeling. And then see, you've got these hills. So yeah, I'm thinking rather than building it on the area where the current waterhole is or near there, that's part of that downward slope, let's build it at the bottom where the gravity reduces, so there's not going to be this constant pull on the water to move out. This is end of August, hottest time of the year, driest time of the year, and there is water along this entire pathway. So we don't have to worry that, oh, by the time it gets down the hill there, where there might not be any water left if we locate a water hole here at the bottom. We can see there's plenty of water left at the bottom. And also we filmed up there, there's a nice natural collection point too. So I'm feeling like that might be the spot. And now I will tune in and listen more to the land and the horses and the eagles and the marmots and everybody else who lives here.